Now, from South Seminole Academy in Castleberry, Florida, direct from the 3rd floor of building number 3, this is South Seminole News.
Oh, hello. Hello. I see you have come to this video. Well, my name is Amelia King. I'm in 8th grade, South Seminole Academy. Boring introduction.
无聊至极。
What's that? You want to hear about me? I'm touched. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, there are a lot of things that I could say about myself. Well, one thing is, I definitely like a lot of anime, donghua, manhwa. I am a rare uncloseted weeb, as you can see here. I don't know if you can see that. I like to swim in my free time on a competitive swim team. Feels like family. It's like home to me. I like to write in my free time. I like to draw in my free time. Actually, I have a few examples here. Some of these drawings look pretty bad, in my opinion. But we're gonna ignore that. This is my baby, Lan Wangji. This is Beryl. Anyways, you don't know who that is. I like memes a lot. Memes. Now, anyways, that very awkward introduction. Let us talk about the news. As you know, I love the news. If you were here last year, you might have seen me screaming at the camera at South Seminole News, awkwardly, that one person. Yes, that's me, Amelia. Anywho, the news is my favorite class because we get to do Photoshop assignments, which I like to make very memey and very weird, but and we get to do a lot of other fun stuff like recording Friday shows where you get to blab about TV shows, anime, video games, anything. This year I didn't get to go on vacation to Indonesia to visit my family, sadly, but typically we go there every year to visit, see some places we haven't been to before. It's really fun, and I miss my family a lot. I also like to sing, play the piano, play angklung, a bunch of different instruments, and yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Thank you for visiting my awkward weeby introduction, and have a nice day. Yeet myself out of here. And I like keeping my good grades. I like keeping my good grades.
Sudah kok kayak monyet gitu sih. Mana? Bruh.
Hello, Mr. Miles. My feet is hurting right now because I'm using a tripod. My voice might hear squeaky, and I think you hear that too, because I think my voice is actually all grungly and something. But it's probably squeaky because I heard this on the camera. So I have a puppet because we in 5th grade news crew, Casper Elementary, we had a puppet named Jeffy, and he did all the lunch stuff because he was a chef, and I made jokes. Like my muffins are burning, and well, this one has a mask, so he can stay safe at school if we ever bring him. So I do not like writing, and I normally just make up stuff while I go. So bye.
Hi, my name is Ava. The first thing everyone knows about me is that I have a soft spot for animals. And I don't just mean the cute cuddly puppies and kittens, I mean the lions, the kangaroos, and everything you can imagine. My summer was also pretty good, but it could have been better. But, COVID kind of messed that up. The beach was the thing we consistently went to, but we also took my stepbrother's RV camping. Quarantine was kind of wacky for me, but I'm looking forward to your class, and I hope we have a good year.
Hi, my name is Eugenia McCormick, but I go by Jenna. My favorite thing to do is play travel softball. My favorite travel softball tournament I participated in this summer was in Clearwater. Me and my friend Lauren got to have a shared beach birthday party. It was a bunch of fun. My second favorite travel softball tournament I participated in this summer was the first U-Trip travel tournament I ever won, and I got a ring for the first time ever. It was super cool. My other favorite things to do other than softball are sewing, track, and skateboarding. I got to sew a bunch of masks due to the pandemic this summer. For example, I got to sew 4th of July masks for me and my friend Riley. We went mini golfing. It was awesome. Me and my family also got to watch a bunch of movie series like Star Wars, Marvel, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Jurassic Park. That was a bunch of fun. That's pretty much my entire summer. Bye, have a great day.
Hello, my name is Haley and I'm 11 years old. A fun fact about me is I do Taekwondo and I've been doing it for almost 4 years now, and I am a blue belt. And blue is my favorite color, and I'm going to Blue Red in October. Also, every year we go to Maine to visit our grandparents. Even though it might be the summer sometimes it's the winter for Christmas and Thanksgiving, but we have fun while we're there. But some of my favorite things to do is doing art, crafting, doing Taekwondo 3 times a week, fashion, I love fashion, playing outside, playing with my dog Lily, who's a Chihuahua, and I've recently started making earrings. But most of all, I love hanging out with my family. Whether it's at theme parks, fishing, which my dad loves a lot, hanging out at a restaurant, eating at a restaurant, watching a movie, riding bikes, doing archery, and going on motorcycle rides, which we do a lot and we love it, and bowling. And those are some stuff about me. Bye.
Attention students and parents, save the date. Picture Day will take place on Monday, September 28th here at South Seminole Academy.
For those students that are currently in Seminole Connect Hybrid or have chosen the Save My Seat option, we have extended times to 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
We will be providing a sign-up Genius online as appointments will be required for those later times.
All students will be required to wear their uniform for fall pictures.
These pictures will be used for the yearbook and ID badges.
Later in the spring, there will be another set of photos taken when you can wear items other than your uniform.
As we get closer to September 28th, we will bring you more information.
For more information, visit my.lifetouch.com. Thank you, and stay tuned for more information.
Hello, students and parents. My name is Mr. Fernandez, and I'm here with Ms. Pearson.
Hi.
We're here to talk to you about the P3 app as well as the Speak Out hotline. We encourage all students to download the free P3 app, even if you're working virtually. This app allows students to report any concerns and threats anonymously. Tips provided will be sent to law enforcement and school administration for investigation. We encourage all students to go ahead and report anything using the P3 app. Now, Ms. Pearson is here to talk to you about other avenues where you can also report anonymously.
Students can also report any issues anonymously through the Speak Out hotline at 1-800-423-TIPS or online at speakouthotline.org. If you see something, say something, do something. Thank you, students, for listening to this message. And as always, don't forget to storm.
Hand washing is one of the most important ways you can keep from getting sick and spreading germs to others. Dirty hands spread disease. This hand washing demonstration will show you how hand washing can get rid of germs and chemicals that get on our hands every day. This gel is like the germs and chemicals that we get from things we touch throughout the day, like our toys and pets. If we then rub our eyes, nose, or mouth, or pick up something to eat, the germs or chemicals can get into our bodies and make us sick. Studies have shown that people touch their eyes, nose, and mouth about 25 times every hour without even realizing it. To get rid of these germs and chemicals, CDC recommends you follow these easy steps every time you wash your hands. Wet, lather, scrub, rinse, and dry. We're going to show you the right way to do each step. First, wet your hands with clean running water. Turn off the tap and apply soap. Then, lather your hands by rubbing them together with the soap. Be sure to lather the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. Scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. If you don't have a clock nearby, keep scrubbing until you've sung the happy birthday song twice. Rinse your hands well under clean running water. Dry your hands using a clean towel, electric hand dryer, or air dry them. Washing your hands using the steps we just demonstrated is very important to get hands completely clean. Let's see how well we got rid of the germs and chemicals. Great. No more germs and chemicals. Why is this so important? Germs and chemicals from unwashed hands can get into our foods and drinks when they're being prepared or when we're eating or drinking them, which can make us sick. Also, germs and chemicals from unwashed hands can be transferred to other objects like cell phones, tabletops, or toys, and then transferred to other people's hands. That's why it's so important to wash your hands following these steps. Wet, lather, scrub, rinse, and dry, so you can stay healthy and help keep those around you healthy. For more information, visit cdc.gov/handwashing.
Hello, Hurricanes. I'm Mr. Fernandez, one of our deans.
And I'm Ms. Pearson, the other dean.
And we're here to review some important parts of the Seminole County Public Schools Code of Conduct. Every year, the Code of Conduct is put out by Seminole County, and each student and parent should review and then return an acknowledgement card, which is signed and dated so that you've gone over it. It is online at www.scps.us under Parents, and then if you go to Policies, you'll be able to access it. Ms. Pearson and I will be, over the next couple of days, we'll be going over some of the finer points of it. If for some reason parents and students aren't able to access it because you don't have Wi-Fi at home, please contact the school and we'll be more than happy to make those accommodations for you. The first thing we want to go over is the safety, security, and scope of authority. Maintaining a safe and secure environment is the primary priority of the Seminole Board of Seminole County School Board. It is the belief of the school board that all students have the right to attend school and school functions free of fear, harm, or harassment. The policies and procedures outlined in the Student Conduct and Discipline Code have been adopted in support of this functioning premise. Video cameras have been installed throughout the buildings of Seminole County Public School campuses. Students may be filmed and videotapes may be used to determine violations of the Student Conduct and Discipline Code. The Student Conduct and Discipline Code applies to all students enrolled in Seminole County Public Schools. The code is in effect on school board owned or controlled property and whenever students are under the official supervision of school board employees, included but not limited to field trips, extracurricular activities, and while being transported to and from such places either by the school bus, approved drivers, or other official means of conveyance. Student detention, search, and seizure is another subject we want to talk about. Except as otherwise permitted herein, students may be detained, searched, and property seized as permitted by School Board Policy 5771. The school board recognizes that the privacy of students or of their belongings may not be violated by unreasonable search and seizure, and directs that no student be searched without reasonable suspicion or in an unreasonable manner. Now, students, this is when we talk about your responsibilities. The student responsibilities are outlined as fundamental responsibilities of the students who attend Seminole County Public Schools. Responsible students make the difference. Students are required to attend school regularly, treat others with respect, treat school property and the property of others with respect, respect the privacy of others, have in their possession only those items allowed by law and/or school board rules or policies, listen courteously to the opinions and points of views of others, come to class with all necessary materials and be prepared to learn, take advantage of their learning opportunities, report hazardous or dangerous situations to any adult in authority, report threats to do harm to any adult in authority, and submit original work. Seminole County Public Schools is committed to creating positive learning environments, promoting kindness between all individuals, and creating a safe community. These are your student rights. Students attending Seminole County Public Schools have the right to a free and appropriate education, which includes the right to equal educational opportunities without regard to race, national origin, gender, disability, or marital status. Students are also vested with other fundamental rights. Among those rights are a safe and orderly environment to which to learn, treatment with dignity and respect, reasonable expression of opinions and personal points of view, peaceable assembly, security in their personal privacy, limited access to their school records, notification of rules and conduct, reasonable and fair treatment. And I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Pearson so she can kind of start reviewing something that's really important, the honor code. Ms. Pearson?
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. In regards to the honor code, academic honesty and integrity are essential to the existence and integrity of an academic community. Without maintaining a high standard of honesty and conduct, the academic reputation of a school is compromised. Students of Seminole County Public Schools shall refrain from all forms of academic dishonesty, such as cheating, plagiarism, misuse of electronic communication, or other deceitful means of obtaining inflated grades. In addition to receiving all consequences listed below, students found in violation of the honor code may lose additional academic and extracurricular privileges. Tobacco violations and civil penalties. Florida Statute 569-12 authorizes school officials to be designated as tobacco product enforcement officers and authorizes them to issue civil citations that are filed with the clerk of court for the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit in Seminole County, Florida. Students found to be guilty of a tobacco violation are subject to penalties that include monetary fines, community service, and revocation of driving privileges, in addition to discipline sanctions as provided by this code. Student attendance. Make sure your mask is over your nose. Now, that's not in the code of conduct, but let's remember that. Regular student attendance provides students the opportunity to acquire specific skills and meet course goals and objectives that may not be otherwise possible if not in attendance. Many integral learning activities, including class discussions, laboratory experiments, field trips, direct instruction, and guest speakers, cannot be simulated or replicated with bookwork. Therefore, the Seminole County Public Schools has adopted attendance policies for elementary, middle, and high school students to encourage honest, accurate, and consistent adherence by all students, parents, teachers, and administrators. These policies outline what qualifies an excused absence, sorry, my mask is just not staying on while I talk, and provide guidelines for the makeup work for missed work due to an absence. Florida Statute 1003.21 establishes that regular school attendance is required of all students enrolled in public school. Administering student medications policy. Medication which is prescribed by a licensed healthcare provider with prescriptive authority may be administered to the student or self-administered by the student when permitted during the school day, including any occasion when the student is away from school property on official school business. Prescription, non-prescription, and over-the-counter medication must be administered in accordance with the district policy for administering medication to students. All medication to be administered by school personnel or self-administered by a student will require completion of the appropriate authorization form. Now back over to Mr. Fernandez for electronic resources access and control.
Great. This is a really something I really want you guys to pay attention to, because this has to do with electronic resources. This means school computers, anything that's school related, anything that's technology related, all your eCampus accounts and everything else. The Student Technology Acceptance Use and Safety Policy provides, among other things, the use of the district network, the internet, and other electronic resources relies heavily on the proper conduct of the users, and they must adhere to strict guidelines. If a student, that'd be you guys, user violates any of these provisions, his or her access to these accounts will be terminated and future access will be denied. In addition, appropriate disciplinary action will be taken, which may include suspension, expulsion, or referral to law enforcement. The use of the account must comply with the educational goals and policies of SCPS. Use of any other network or computer resources must be consistent with the rules appropriate to the network. This includes, but is not limited to, the laws and regulations regarding copyrighted material, threatening, obscene, or profane materials, materials protected by trade secret, and the following are prohibited: using anyone's account using any individual account or providing individual account information to someone else, including your friends. So don't give out your personal information and your personal passcodes to your friends. Use of the network for financial gain or political or commercial activity. The attempt to send or sending anonymous messages of any kind pretending to be somebody else while sending a message. Guys, just to let you know, they can figure out where these messages came from. So even though you're putting a different name on there, they can figure it out. So let's not put ourselves in a bad position. The attempt or actual action to destroy, modify, harm, or destroy any other person's data on an SCPS network, harassing, insulting, or attacking others via the network communication. Now, some of the privileges I want to talk about with this electronic use. The use of the electronic networks is a privilege. Inappropriately use will result in a cancellation of that privilege and the referral for disciplinary and possibly legal action. Administrators will decide if the usage is appropriate. Their decision will be final. And finally, security. When a student identifies a security problem, he or she must notify a teacher, media specialist, or system administrator immediately, and not show or identify the problem to others. The last thing I want to go over in today's session would be threats of violence. Students are prohibited from making direct or indirect threats of violence against individuals or groups. Any threats of such violence must be reported immediately. I can't stress that enough. When I say immediately, I mean immediately. It doesn't mean wait till the weekend is over. It doesn't mean wait till the next day. We want you to report those immediately to a teacher or staff or administrator. All threats of violence, which includes oral, written, electronic, or even symbolic. These will be reported to law enforcement and they'll be investigated by school officials. A student found to have made a threat of violence is subject to appropriate disciplinary consequences, up and to including suspension, expulsion, arrest, and persecution. And that brings an end to today's session of the Discipline Code of Conduct for Seminole County Public Schools. Ms. Pearson, is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off for today?
Don't forget to storm.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what can gather. Your fever dream, can't you see getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's a preacher in the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall, it's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you want to go where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night? Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. Colossal, we come, these renegades in the ring, where the lost get found, every crown of the circus king. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. It's blinding, outshining anything that you know. Just surrender, cause you're coming and you wanna go where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, intoxicating you. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. It's everything you ever want, it's everything you ever need, and it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. It's everything you ever want, it's everything you ever need, and it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. This is where you wanna be. Where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show. It's coming in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the walls can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Next year, visit our website, take a stand.
Introduce to the jury that you find my clients not guilty.
Hello, students, and welcome to another edition of the Dean's Den. I'm Mr. Fernandez, one of your deans.
And I'm Miss Pearson, also one of your deans.
And we're here to, on this edition of the Dean's Den, we're here to discuss a couple of things. One are masks and the other are lunches. We just want to reiterate at lunches, once you've come into the cafeteria or the cart outside and you get your lunch, we want to make sure that you select an area where you're going to sit with your friends. Those options that we have are Leadership Hall, just outside the gymnasium in our seating area, Legacy Park, the courtyard, or the cafeteria. Whatever area that you do select to sit and have your lunch, just be aware that you will be there for the duration of lunch. Based on CDC guidelines for social distancing, we want to make sure that we're not moving around in large groups or staying together and just wandering around the courtyard at different locations. Again, once you get your lunch, you have the freedom to select what areas where you want to sit as long as there's seating available. We just ask that when you do go to those areas, you stay there for the duration of lunch. I'm going to throw it over to Ms. Pearson.
Before we move on, Mr. Fernandez, so if I'm sitting with my friend on a bench and I want to stretch my legs a little bit, can I stand up?
Absolutely. You can stand up and stretch your legs as long as you stay with your friend in that area and it's limited to the amount of people that can be on that bench.
Okay, so I need to stand up like right in front of the bench. I can't like walk over to another bench, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's a great point, Ms. Pearson.
And
yes.
One more question. So if I really want to sit in the cafeteria, but the cafeteria has reached its limit of the amount of students that can be in there, then what happens?
It's a great question. We direct students out of the cafeteria to go to other areas that do have seating capacities. We're always constantly on the radio, calling back and forth, letting staff know where we do have openings, where students can sit, and make sure that every student has a place to go.
Thanks, Mr. Fernandez, because I know like some of us like to be outside in the sun, but others of us don't.
And
so
that
we
is,
have
yeah.
2 air-conditioned places where we can eat.
Yes, 2 indoor places. We have 2 indoor, we have 3 outdoor, so there's plenty of choice for all students.
Thank you.
Miss Pearson, while we're at it, masks. What can you tell me about masks and wearing them on campus?
Oh my goodness. If I see you and you're not eating at lunch, then you should have on your mask. So if you're in class, you should have on your mask. During class change, you should have on your mask. When you get off of your bus, you should have on your mask because you should have worn it on the bus. When you get on your bus, or if you're waiting on the car ramp, you should have on your mask. Even if you're a walker, you should have on your mask until you get out of the gates.
So the message you're trying to give us here is wear your mask.
Wear your mask.
Wear your
all
mask.
day.
And what happens if, let's say, I show up to school and to get on the bus, or I get out of my parents' car, and I walk to school and I forgot my mask?
You see this thing right here?
Yes.
I got it just for this year.
That is a nice fanny pack.
You know what? I have masks in it.
So what you're saying is that the staff will provide you with a mask.
Absolutely.
And what happens if my mask breaks? What if it snaps or breaks? Same thing?
So that happened to me the other day, actually. One of my masks broke. I had on a disposable one. So I just used one of the ones that we provide here at the school.
That's great. Okay. Well, now you know, students, if you don't have a mask, forgot your mask breaks, find a staff person, we'll go ahead and give you a mask.
And it's very important to know that if we have to remind you multiple times about wearing your mask, that you can receive some disciplinary actions.
Right. So you're just saying is, so if I decide not to wear my mask and I have to be redirected many times to put my mask on,
it might come with some consequences.
and your parents will be contacted. Yep.
I just want to point out right now that my nose is out because I'm talking a lot, so my mask is moving. So we understand that happens sometimes. Just remember to adjust it. It should be over your nose and your mouth at all times. So if you forget, if you're talking and it moves down, we understand that's going to happen. But if we constantly notice that you're on purpose having your mask down, or as soon as you walk away from us, we see it pulled down or up, those are the issues that we're speaking about. So we know that, things happen. We're human. But if you're just reminded, please just pull up your mask and don't intentionally pull it down. It should always be over your nose and mouth.
Right. And it's for everyone's safety, not just the students, but staff and everyone else, and also who all the students live with, their family as well.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. Last reminder, I guess, on this edition of the Dean's Den is at dismissal. Let's make sure that when your floor is dismissed, that you leave the building or whatever area you are and make your way to whatever place you're going to go. Buses, car riders, walkers. The buses are on a timetable. We don't want you to be left by your bus. We don't want you hanging around in the courtyard waiting for your friends, because the whole point of the staggered dismissal by floors is to make sure that we don't have a large number of students in one area at one time because of CDC guidelines.
That's a great reminder, Mr. Fernandez, because I've actually run into that a couple of times. Like, hey, I need to wait for my cousin. We walk home together. Well, you can wait for your cousin. off campus at the gate. That's a great place. Like, you don't have to leave them, but just wait at the gate for them. Or people that are waiting for their siblings to get on the bus. We have staff members with the bus list as well as QR codes to find your bus list. So we'll make sure your family members get to the bus, okay? You don't have to wait for them, because we do need to make sure that everybody is moving off campus at the end of the day.
And those QR codes you talked about, if I was a student that rode the bus, where can I scan those? That would tell me where my bus is at the end of the day, instead of me having to ask staff people every single day, where's my bus?
So teachers should have them posted, as well as it's posted in the cafeteria. Well, you don't go in the cafeteria at the end of the day, but it is available inside as well as in the window of the cafeteria that you walk by as you leave Building 3.
So I could just take a picture of it with my smartphone, whether it be an Android or an iPhone or whatever operating device I have, and it'll tell me exactly where my location, my bus is every day.
Absolutely.
That sounds great.
Schedule's on the news also at the end of the day.
Oh, Mr. Miles just gave us a reminder that the bus schedule is also on the news at the end of the day.
So there's lots of different ways. What I'm hearing is lots of different ways to get it. And really, there should be no reason to ask, unless maybe you don't have your phone or something happens.
Right.
But there are a lot. Okay, that sounds great. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this episode of the Dean's Den. Thanks for joining us.
I hope you guys had a great week. Mr. Fernandez, what do we need to remind them?
We need to remind them to don't forget to storm.
This is my female dog. She's a standard poodle. She's 7 years old.
And what's her name?
Her name's Bella.
This is my 9-year-old dog, Yorkie. Her name is Carla, and she's very sweet, but my mother gave her a very bad fur cut yesterday because she had some really bad knots in her fur, so now she looks like a weird chihuahua.
This is my 7-year-old dog, Chloe. She's older, but she still acts like a puppy. Huh?
So this is my dog Rennie. He is a pit bull terrier mix, and we have had him for 3 years now. He's, I believe, 6.
Very good.
In human years.
So this is Maxine, my hamster. She's about a year old. I got her in December last year as a Christmas gift, and she is very, very quick, but she's gained a lot of weight since I've gotten her, so she's slowed down a bit, but she's very friendly and doesn't bite anymore. The first 2 weeks when I got her, the only thing she wanted to do was bite me, so I had to leave her alone for a while, but now she's very friendly.
So today we are doing a police course. So what we have to do here, we have to get out of that police car and then grab a gun and a flashlight, and then you put a gun right there. Then you have the flashlight with you, and then you go to those cones and you run all the way back, then go all the way back. Now go all the way there, then go all the way back. Then you climb over that part, and then you jump over those hurdles, then go curved line to those cones, then go under those big cones, and then once you get to those two cones right there, you go around it, and then you climb on that wall. Once you've done that, go through the whole thing again. Go under those, then do a curved line between those cones, and then you jump over those hurdles, and then go over that, and then after that, you have to go all the way back there, then go here, grab the gun, shoot the gun 6 times. After that, put the flashlight back in there, and then go back to the car, and then go back, and put the seatbelt, and your time is done.
$259.
Good job, buddy.
That was good. Good afternoon, Hurricanes, and welcome to South Seminole PBS Store. If you've not had an opportunity to come to the PBS Store, it's going to be open on Win-Win Wednesdays. During that time, you can use your storm points, which you will find in your hero. Your teachers are going to go over that with you if you have not done that already. And next is going to be, let's just talk about some of the items we have. So we have this cool activity tracker. That activity tracker is going to be, I want to say 20 points. So if you have 20 points, each point basically comes out to about 25 cents. So you multiply that and that tells you how much things are going to cost. We have these lovely rings. Don't forget your jewelry. We have something for the ladies and for the gentlemen. All right. Have these cool bracelets. We have a couple of different types of bracelets. These things are all interchangeable and they will always be, we'll have some things available now and other things will change out. We have these cool name tags. So if you like those dog tags, dream big and discover more. We have plenty of those. One of our favorites coming up is going to be this little squishy. Everybody seems to love those squishies. They go pretty fast. So if you want to get one of those, you want to put your name in for that one quickly. And that one is going to be 5 storm points. These are over here are going to be also 20 storm points. And these are going to be your light up mouthpieces and your light up pacifiers. So these are just some of the items that we have right now. Some of our larger items are over here in the cabinet. And if you look at it, we have soccer balls, footballs, volleyballs. We actually even have a phone, and that phone is a legit phone. It's ready to go. It's in the box and ready to be sold. Once movie theaters are back open, we have AMC gift cards that are valued at $25, but guess what? We're going to have a very special price for those, so if anyone wants to go to the movies, we'll ask more about that. More jewelry, headpieces, and if you are one of those students in need of a helmet. And also, we also have our swag here. You have the South Seminole Academy shirts, property of South Seminole Academy. So plenty of items to choose from. We will be always adding more stuff. If you have any questions, please see Mr. Motley. If you are online, it is Ronald_Motley at scps.k12.fl.us. So if you're at home and you're doing Connect, you can shoot me an email and let me know that that's something you're interested in, and we will work out making sure you have those points to get those items. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day, and always remember, continue to storm.
Good morning, South Seminole. We hope you had a good first day of school, and we are all excited to see you come back. I'm Mr. Mertz, one of the assistant principals. I'm here with Ms. Pearson, one of the deans, and Mr. Fernandez, one of the deans. We wanted to review some important procedural items with you this morning. We want to go over some AM arrival, some lunch expectations, and some PM dismissal expectations. So I'm going to talk about in the morning, since things look a little bit different this school year. In the morning when you arrive, if you are a 6th grader, you are expected to get your breakfast either in the cafeteria or at the stand outside the gymnasium and report to the gymnasium until 9:15. If you are a 7th grader, you are expected to get your breakfast either from the cafeteria or the outside stand at the gymnasium and then report to Leadership Hall. If you are an 8th grader, you're expected to get your breakfast in the cafeteria and remain in the cafeteria till 9:15. At 9:15, you will hear a bell. The bell is just a warning signal for teachers and for staff that it is time to report to first or second period, depending on the day. That bell does not dismiss you. We will dismiss you in the designated locations. So we're going to start with a staggered dismissal where 6th grade will dismiss first from the gymnasium. Once 6th grade is complete, we'll move on to 7th grade. 7th grade will dismiss from Leadership Hall. And then we'll move on to 8th grade where they will dismiss from the cafeteria. So again, our AM procedures are very important. At this time, I'm going to kick it over to Ms. Pearson to talk about lunches.
Good morning, students. So lunches look a little different this year as well. We have 5 areas for you to eat at lunch. You may eat in the cafeteria, the courtyard, which is the tables outside the cafeteria, Legacy Square, which is that area outside the cafeteria, Leadership Hall, or the outside area outside the gymnasium. It's very important for you to know once you choose your area in which you will eat, you must remain in that area for the entire lunch. So if you choose to eat inside, you have to stay inside for lunch. You can't go in and out. Okay? While you are eating, you are able to take off your masks, but you must socially distance. So if you are at a table inside, there are areas marked with X's. You'll eat on the areas that don't have an X on it. If you're sitting at the tables outside the cafeteria, there are only 2 per table, as well as the benches in Legacy Square and the outside area outside of the gymnasium. So again, if you're inside, it's marked for you. If not, the rule is 2 per sitting area. Okay, we do have a cart outside of the gym this year. It has the same options as the cafeteria. So if you are choosing those options of Leadership Hall or the area outside the gymnasium, it is the expectation that you get your lunch from that outside cart. While you're eating, you may take off your masks, but as soon as you're finished, you must put it on. So if you're talking to your friends after eating, please make sure that you put your mask back on. Alrighty, please make sure you follow those expectations, and Mr. Fernandez is going to talk about dismissal.
And please remain socially distanced at all times, correct, Ms. Pearson?
Correct.
So you don't want to see any groups or any huddles of kids together at lunch. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All righty.
Great. And at dismissal, what we're going to do is every afternoon, your teacher should have on their TV screen a QR code that will be displayed. Also, the bus locations. If the QR code, if you scan it with your smartphone, you should be able to pull up the bus location. So if you're a bus rider, scan the QR code. It's going to tell you the exact location of your bus. When you come to the bus ramp, you'll already know where it is, and you won't have to ask, where's my bus? Also, we're going to be dismissing staggered dismissals. So even though the bell rings, again, that's only a signal to allow you to know the dismissal has started. That does not mean when the bell rings you are dismissed. We'll be dismissing by areas. We'll have the first floor, band, chorus, portables, and PE, and then we'll have second floor dismissal, third floor dismissal. Again, it'll be staggered. The bell is only letting you know that we're starting dismissal, not that you're dismissed. When you are dismissed, your area is dismissed, you are to go directly to either the car ramp, the bus ramp, walkers, or bikers area to go home. And we need you to go ahead and go to those areas and go ahead and be dismissed. We're not going to hang around in the courtyard for 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to move our way into our dismissal area and finish our dismissal. And with that, we want to thank you for being here on the first day. Had a great first day. We're looking forward to a great first week and a great year. So with that, Hurricanes, don't forget to storm.